And I hope you're well, Doc.
It's not that way. I mean,
Mm. I'm sure you are in touch with many cocoa farmers and the situation they're currently encountered with. Um, what we have been told is that they are owed. Can you paint us a picture of exactly how bad the situation is?
yes. If you recall, in December, when we issued our press release for the Farmers Day, we indicated that one of the key things we talked about was the revitalization of Ghana Cocobod, because we acknowledge the kind of debt situation they found themselves in. And we did tell government that government had to urgently come in if they want the sector to stand on its feet and take back its rightful position in our economy. It was because of some of these signals we had picked that we brought out that press release indicating that there was a need for government to urgently come in and rescue the situation of Cocobod. And so basically, once an organization is already owing a lot of money, it means that some of its obligations that has to do with paying farmers what is rightful theirs will become difficult for them. Then we are also confronted with the issues of exchange rate losses and all those things because the city was weak. Now the city is a bit strong, and so the amount of money Cocoa Board makes it cannot even meet its own obligations. So the situation is really very bad. It's very bad. And it is not just about the farmer. Even the institution itself is in a very bad situation.
As for Cocobos situation, we seem to get, and in fact, it started not now. It's been, we know they are heavily indebted. But we're wondering how that is affecting the farmer.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That the fact that the institution itself is like the institution is on oxygen. And so if the one that is supposed to give life to the farmer is on oxygen, how does that institution give life to a farmer? When me myself I'm on oxygen. I am the breadwinner of my family. Now, me myself, I am sick and I'm in the hospital. How do I provide bread to my family? That's the situation.
Mm. And that's the interest because you're asking for a revitalization of Ghana Cocobod. Break it down for us. Exactly what do you expect to happen?
You see, when an institution is bewildered of so many debts that in itself is finding difficult to stand on its feet, and you don't, for instance, we've had examples of the banks, we've had examples of ECG and other government institutions that have gone bankrupt, and government have come in to intervene in one way or the other. It takes both the stakeholders, which have to do with the unions, as well as the workers, as well as government, to sit together and come out of win-win situations where at the end of the day, this institution gets back its rightful position as it used to enjoy. Sometime past, people used to borrow money to government of Ghana. What has happened? It means that over the years, leadership of that institution have been doing a cut and paste system. If you have to give farmers free fertilizer, and then some of those fertilizers are diverted in one way or the other, how does it? And once the farmers don't get the fertilizer, and that fertilizer in a way is diverted by certain loopholes within the system, at the end of the day, a problem is created. So the problem of cocoa board, like you rightly said, it's not today. It started several years back. But it is now at a stage where if nothing is done, within the next 2 or 3 years, we will even have a cocoa board.
And when you said nothing is done, I was wondering what you expect the government to do.
Yes. One, I think that is the government has started to take certain measures. Like, for instance, the president called an emergency cabinet meeting where the cabinet has been briefed about the situation. I know the chief executive officer of football definitely would have been there to brief cabinet about how the situation looks like. And so I think that first and foremost, football board needs recapitalization. Now, apart from recapitalization, we need to sit, the union as well as government, as well as Cocobod money minister, need to sit so that we see what are some of the things, for instance, whatever decision that is taken is definitely going to affect the staff as well. Because staff are expecting increment in salaries, staff are expecting certain welfare benefits, but the organization doesn't have some of those things to give them now. And so there must be some kind of win-win where at least certain compromises are made by staff. And based on that, we know that if in the next 1 year or 2 years, when the situation gets better, then we all get back to our feet. But urgently, it is the recapitalization that we think should be done urgently.
So you expect to hear the finance minister today talk about money is being set aside to help Cocobod.
Exactly. What is happening? They don't have money. If they had money, they will pay the farmers. They don't have the money. So if I don't have the money, how do I pay the farmer? They don't have the money to pay them.
And then the matter of the staff, because I realized that the government spokesperson also spoke about efficiency in administration and management. In fact, one of the things we've constantly heard about is the fact that Cocobod perhaps has overemployed more than it currently needs, that the wage bill keeps going up, which is contributing to the challenge we are encountered with. You say that is one of the discussions that have to be had?
Yes, exactly. You see, Cocobod some time past used to employ extension officers from the colleges of agriculture. Then these people rise to the levels they rise to. Now, as we talk, we have more senior staff in Cocobod than we have junior staff. And we all know how the salary structures of organizations are. Seniors take more money than juniors. And so if you have more seniors in an organization than we have juniors, what will happen is that the wage bill definitely will be bigger. And it is because of the political interference within the employment regime of Cocobod. Instead of employing people from the colleges of agriculture, graduates who graduate from institutions that even have no link to agriculture were employed over the years. And these people were kept on senior level positions. And senior level positions attract high incomes. That makes the wage bill to keep ballooning. And within the next 4 to 5 or 6 years at most, these people are promoted. We have people who are less than 40 years in Cocobod who are managers. And currently, we even have managers in Cocobod who are there with their portfolios. But it is no fault of the institution itself. It's because of the structure it has. But if people from the agri colleges were employed, it will take at least 10 to 15 years for that fellow to graduate to become a senior member. And so over the years, strategies will be employed to cater for their wage bill and other things. But when you pick people direct from graduate level and put them at senior level, then the wage bill is ballooned.
And most of these people, we understand, tend to be administrative staff. Because the people...
Like I rightly said, that because they were employing, over the years, they were employing people who have no background in terms of agriculture. Once you don't have, it's an agriculture establishment, yet you leave the colleges of agriculture students and refuse to employ them, and go and employ graduates who complete universities with agriculture background. So you can't put them on the field. You have to put them in the administration. Because they have no background in terms of extension services, they have no background in terms of agrochemical use. So that's what happens.
And you said one of the problems is politicization.
Exactly.
How should that be dealt with?
You see, in Ghana here, what we have observed is that when people come into power, then they look at the places where we perceive that over here they pay well. And because they pay well in those places, we want all our people to go over there and work. Whether they have the relevant qualifications or not to work over there, we don't care. It is our party that is in government. And so based on that, they push all the people to those places that are perceived to be paying well. And so those places end up getting choked. with so many people who are irrelevant to the sector. Unfortunately, after you have been employed with a place for a certain number of years, it becomes difficult for them to sack you. If they end up terminating your employment, then the labor law will catch up with you. So even though these people are there and not rendering the kind of services that Cocobod really needs, Cocobod is hands are tied to do anything to this staff. Yet Cocobod, as we talk right now, urgently needs agriculture extension workers. But the staff wage bill alone is too high that they can't even employ this extension agents. They have staff who are not fit for purpose, and the one staff who are fit for purpose, but they can't employ them. That's the situation we find ourselves in.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us. We'll be looking forward to what the finance minister will say, and we'll have a further conversation with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Pascal Kaba is Deputy General Secretary, General Agricultural Workers Union. Ekoko Farmer just indicated to me that he would like to make a quick contribution to the conversation we are having. This morning, we are live on Lukusi Radio. We are live on Lukusi Radio this morning. A very good morning to Hilda and the rest of the crew. Lukusi Radio is on 96.1. The Golokwati. The one we'll never forget because I recall the days in the newsroom.